About a week ago I got this Losi Super Baja Ray. Driven it a few times and it's a really good truck. It's got a lot of potential to it, but there are a few things I really don't like about it. Number one, being that Spectrum radio. Personally, I'm not a fan of Spectrum ground radios. I fly with a DX6, love it, but I just don't have any luck with ground radios of the Spectrum brand. So that's coming out for a Futaba 4 PLS. The ESC in this thing is actually pretty nice. However, that's coming out for a Max 5 because summer temperatures are going to be a little bit hotter and I'm going to run this truck quite a bit. The steering servo, I'm going to take a look at that. Also take a look at the steering servo saver. And I'm also going to put the lights on a switch that I can control from the 4 PLS. So let's go ahead and dig into this thing. Here is the stock ESC. Like I said, it's basically a Max 6, even though the Hobbywing tuner doesn't work on it. At least it didn't for me. And there are the lights. I'm going to put those on a switch. And I just basically wanted to show you guys how this is set. So when I tear this thing apart, you'll actually see what it looked like before compared to what it's going to look like after. So here is the stock layout. As you can see, it's got a nice, super beefy motor. Really like that motor. ESC fits in there really nice. I mean, can't really complain. I mean, heck, that's a great ESC. Even though it's not tunable by the Hobbywing tuning programmer, it's still a pretty nice ESC, 8S capable. The receiver, the obviously on-off button, and here's the servo I wanted to show you guys. Hitec 5765. As you can see, it pretty much is the exact same size as a stock servo. However, this one is more than likely going to be faster. Whether or not it has more torque or not, really don't know, but I think this thing is supposed to be around 360, somewhere around there. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can fit that in. Hopefully the arm spline count is the same. So I guess I'm going to start with the easy thing and go ahead and start seeing if the servo will fit. Now, as far as the programmer that I use, I've been trying to use this one right here, which works on the Max 6. It works on the Max 5. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on and I'll show you that it's not connecting. Alright, then you push item. And that's all you get. It never actually connects. So this tuner or this programmer does not actually connect. I wish when Losi or another RC manufacturer rebrands an ESC like this, which is a rebranded with a few different colors Max 6, from everything I've been told and from what I see in the specs, why do they have to mess with the programming? Just leave it alone. Let it be Max 5, Max 6, whatever it is, so we don't have to spend more money on tuners. I mean, really, why buy a Losi tuner when this thing messes up? Toss it in the garbage and get a real Hobbywing. This is the programmer for the Hobbywing 1080 brushed ESC. Let's turn it on. And you think, yay, it's going to work, right? Well, not really. It goes up to setting of 8, which you can see on the back, but the amount of adjustability is not right. You got 3 settings here and you only get 2 right there. And I'm afraid to actually send a setting to the ESC because I do kind of need that to work a little bit for the dragster. And it's got to work on 8S, so I'm not really going to mess with it because I don't trust this because it just doesn't seem to be syncing up with what the ESC has got. So this one doesn't work either. I did some looking around on Facebook and the different groups that I can see, you know, because everybody wants to private their Facebook groups now. So, but anyway, from what I can tell, you may get lucky if you have an older tuning card. Some of the guys are saying the older cards do actually tune on this thing. So if you have one, give it a shot. And if it works, let me know. You know, just post up in the comments below and just let us all know so we know what will work and what will not. But it seems the safe bet is to throw more money at Losi and get their tuner for this ESC. So I guess it is what it is. Stock system, stock servo. Full lock the lock. Let's see how much better the Hitec is. Okay, the stock horn does fit between the two servos. However, the splines are deeper on the servo horn for the stock servo than what they are on the Hitec. So unless you want to try shimming underneath the bolt to actually pull the horn out, you can do that. I don't think it will be an issue, but I'm going to use a different servo horn altogether. This is the servo horn I'm going to cut and make fit. I'm going to cut this side off. I'm going to cut the end of this off and do some rounding, and I'm going to tap that hole right there out for 4 millimeters. And this should go right on the servo and right in the truck. And the modification is complete. It is drilled and tapped for 4 millimeter. This will go right onto the servo, and I'm probably going to put an extra 4 millimeter nut on top of the bolt just for a little added safety. What you're seeing there is the spring to the servo saver. These are quite a bit weak. I'm going to tighten this down. I'm not going to lock it down, but it's definitely going to be tightened up a little bit. This is with the Hitec servo in place. I do have the Futaba on it because, well, it's going in there anyway. I have been told that just changing the radio alone with the stock servo makes a world of difference. So it might be something to think about. But anyway, that is a lot better. Very happy. And to top it off, this is high voltage. So when the Max 5 ESC gets put in there, it's going to be turned up. Oh yeah. Steering just got a lot better on this truck. Next off is going to be the ESC, and I already found where that was broken. I haven't really crashed this thing very hard, but that might be an issue on yours. And because it is bolted in, I'm going to have to make a plate to actually mount the Max 5. I've got a scrap piece of aluminum here. Going to do some work, make a plate, and get the Max 5 put in place. In case you're wondering of the differences in sizes between the Dynamite ESC or Max 6 versus the Hobbywing Max 5, you know, there's a pretty big size difference. And it's going to go right into that thing. Here's my ESC mount. Nice, simple, clean. It's going to mount in with the countersinking screws. Then I'm just simply going to use some really good tape to hold the ESC on. And I don't use normal two-sided tape. This stuff sticks so well the plastic's going to rip. That's the plate. Mounted and ready for the ESC. The Max 5 is in place. Looks good. Alrighty. Let's take this thing outside and get a quick run with it. The Max 5 is in, the Hitec Servo is in, 6S, Futaba radio. Look at that turn. That's awesome. Wow. That was not being had with the stock truck. Wow. That is awesome. This is the light controller that I'm using. It's getting power straight from the receiver, which is 7.35 volts coming straight from the ESC. And these are the same light controllers that I did that video in a while back. Light controllers under $2. So I will have a link in the description for that, so you guys can check that out. Maybe order some for yourself. They're good to 3S. They're actually pretty darn nice. So that's what's running the lights. And I'm fixing to plug it up and see how bright they are. Alright, I just set the body on just for a second. I do have my wiring in and the light controller. So let's see here. Lights on, lights off, on, off. It works for the same for both the front and the back. Not bad. Now, just in case you happen to like the stock radio, I have found that if you power the light controller off of one of the open ports and you put your light controller, the control wire plug, into the auxiliary switch, you can actually control the lights on and off with this button, which is actually pretty cool. I mean, it's to the back, on, forward, off. I don't know if that's reversible or not, but it is actually doable. So basically, for less than $5, you can put a light controller in with the stock radio and actually make it work. That's actually pretty cool. So everything is in. Let's get this truck outside and see what it's got. So the first thing I notice is the better steering. Wow. And we have the lights. Ching. Oh, well, that button right there. And you can do that with the stock radio. You just use a button up on the top of it. Oh. 7.35 volts as measured from the ESC. Wow. So there you go, guys. The Futaba 4 PLS is in. The Hobby Wing Max 5 is in. The light controller is in. The Hitec 5765 Servo is in. It's running pretty darn good. Oh, it also has the external gyro. That's in and working fine. So, yeah. I'm happy with it now. Don't really know what else to say. So, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.